The M60 is a legendary weapon, first used IRL in 1960, but only added to Tarkov about a year ago. But is it actually usable? It's almost the polar opposite to last week's seriously off-meta but maybe sort of viable pistol, the G18C, not least because it has one of the slowest fire rates out of all of Tarkov's full-auto guns. With 550 RPM, it's only higher than something like the Saiga 12 full-auto shotgun, and given the only magazine available to it is the 100-round box, this leaves the M60 with 11 seconds of continuous fire, and it literally cannot overheat in the process. This is because of Tarkov's quirky mechanics around open bolt weapons, the most well-known being the PPSH. You can tell which are affected because there's no chambered round in the inspect view, and the M60 is exactly the same. This means that it doesn't follow the same mechanics as regular weapons around overheating and malfunction, making it impossible to jam at any heat level or durability, with the latter only affecting the accuracy of the weapon itself. This makes it a really good choice if you want to go and fight the boss Kollontai on streets because his baton can jam your weapon, but not the M60. There are three base weapons to choose from. We have the M60E4, which is this one, and then we have two versions of the M60E6, which is the regular version, and then we also have the one in FDE. And this is a bit like the Scar L and the Scar H, and also the MDR, where we have two versions for the same gun. They're effectively the same thing, except one is just in a different color as its base components. Practically speaking though, there's not really a great deal of difference between any of these three, and we'll jump over into DB for Tarkov just to demonstrate this. So on DB for Tarkov, as I've talked about previously, you have this concept called overswing, where when you ADS with a weapon, the reticle will actually overshoot and then come back and settle where you would expect it to. And this occurs when the weapon is a combination of being too heavy and having too low ergo. Now in the case of the M60, these guns are incredibly heavy. As you can see, this one doesn't even have any ammo inside and it is 10 kilograms, which is absolutely insane. So on DB for Tarkov, this Evo Ergo Delta thing, which is basically the metric that determines whether you're going to have overswing or not, is deeply negative, and that means that the overswing is going to happen. So even if we get rid of the magazine like we have here, we're still deep into the overswing territory. So we may as well not worry about it. We might as well just put on as much recoil reducing attachments as we can. All of these guns have the same base recoil, so it really doesn't matter which one you pick. I usually just choose the one that's the cheapest, so we'll go for the M60E4. Now here, there's not a great deal of things you can actually do. As I said, there is only one magazine that you can have, which is the 100-round box, and most of the other alternatives are just the other parts for the other two varieties of the weapon, and we don't really care about ergo anyway. And so the main thing that we want to change is the barrel. There's a few different barrels for the gun, and the one that is probably the best is this one, the 584mm barrel. And there's two reasons why this is good. Firstly, it has the most recoil reduction, so this takes our recoil down to 91 from the base, which we can improve with some other devices, but we'll look at that in a second. But one thing that it does do is it changes the accuracy of the weapon to 1.1 MOA. This is really good. This is basically in like DMR territory, so if you have a long-range scope on this thing, and given that this uses 7.62 by 51 NATO anyway, which is a good bullet and flies pretty flat, this is actually a really good choice for long-range shooting. We also have the bipods that we're just going to keep on here because we don't really care about ergonomics anyway, and it doesn't affect the recoil. But you can see the mounted recoil buff of minus 80%, which is actually really insane. And I'll show you a clip of that now, just so you can see what the difference is. It makes it so easy to shoot at long range with this thing. Obviously, if you're holding down the trigger, you probably don't care so much about the MOA exactly, but with 100 rounds behind you, it can give you insane firepower, especially if you're playing in a squad. There's not much difference on the handguards. Technically speaking, the M60E6 is very slightly better on recoil. It's very cheap on Peacekeeper once you've got him up to max level. So you can get minus 1% recoil on that. And then we're going to put on a grip that we just never usually use, which is the RK2, because this thing reduces your ergonomics by 8, but we're already at the 0 band anyway, so we don't really care. Now the quirk of the M60, which makes it kind of interesting, is that you can attach a suppressor to this particular barrel, which is pretty cool. You can't do this with the PKP, the PKM, or the RPD, and so this makes it one of the most powerful machine guns that you can suppress, which in Tarkov, as we know, is really quite powerful. The best in slot is this one, the QDC 762 muzzle brake attachment, and then on top of that, you add the PRS QDC, and that gets you down to 67 vertical recoil, which is really low for this gun, especially given that it has such a low fire rate. This makes it really easy to control. But you can really choose anything. Alternatively, I often end up using something like the Thunder Beast, and you can do a barter for the Ultra 5. It gets you to 70 recoil. It's kind of much of a muchness. I'm not sure if you'll really notice. But the big advantage in using a suppressor in Tarkov is that outside of 100 meters, you can't be heard. And this is exactly the same for the M60 as well. I did go and test this at a co-op offline raid to make sure it was true. And this follows the pattern of all the other guns as well, where you literally can't hear it after 100 meters. So between the low recoil, the fact that you can actually put a scope on this, the weapon that has high accuracy, and the bullets fly pretty flat, you don't even really need to zero it out to 150 meters or something. After 200 or so, you probably do need to start making some adjustments, because after that you do have quite a lot of an effective gravity. But up to 150, you can pretty much just slap a scope on and just use it as you wish. Combining that with the bipod, if you do manage to find a good position, means you can really take some quite accurate shots over long range whilst firing on full auto, which is mental. Because this thing eats ammunition, or at least it has a lot with it, you're probably going to want 2 different boxes. That's 200 rounds. It's actually quite hard to get enough ammo of the good variety. You're going to lose a lot if you die with it. So what I would recommend is typically to use BCP FMJ. This one was buffed 2 patches ago or something, so it's now 37 pen, so it deals with class 4 pretty readily. The alternative is to use M80. I haven't bothered completing this yet. M80 has been brought back onto Peacekeeper 4. You can go and do Revision Lighthouse if you want to unlock this, but I've just been using BCP FMJ and just using a wall of bullets to make it function. Given the limits on the ammo, you could theoretically stack M80 over the top of BCP, or BCP over the top of TCWSP if you want, given you can buy 1,000 of this and only 120 of this. Now, there's one extra trick that I want to share with you in reloading, because the M60 takes a very long time to reload, because you have to take out the box and put the new box in and all of that stuff. So what you could do is swap the slots. This works with any gun that has a really long reload time. You can actually do it with bolt actions as well if you want to, things like the break action MP18 or the Mosin. And you can swap the weapon to another slot, and when it's not in your hands, you don't have any animations anymore. So you can swap the slot, you can go into your inventory, you can right click on the box mag, you can say install, that'll swap the magazine into the gun and take the old box and put it in your bag, and then you can just swap back again. This saves quite a lot of time on the reload, and it might save you in a fight. So next up, we're going to take a look at a few clips of the M60 in action.
Once you're 150, because I actually did look at this already, once you're at 150 meters or so, you're kind of okay, but anything further than that, and it's a bit rough.
Connor, I'm done.
He thought he had the upper hand. Why is he level whatever, like, with this little stuff? Anyone around here still? Anybody looking, thinking, what's going on? Just a scav. Okay. So. We heard something that sounded like Sturmy. He's probably dead already, though. Don't think I brought any normal painkillers, so that was kind of bad. Just a piece of wood. I love the like wooden plank, but it's actually a root. Oh no, maybe he is here. You fighting somebody down there? We'll go and have a look. Gotta walk the doggy. Good luck. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm just pretty sure that in the softcore that they're going to bring in some of these changes that we've seen already. Oh no, it's slightly too high. Ah, I can't see this guy because of all the grass. Well, we scared him at least. We gave him a fright. Yeah, Shinobi's over there somewhere. I don't know where exactly. Was that PMC? That was a cracking shot. Holy mo... Was that player? It looked like a player. One tap with the big guns, baby. One tap with the big guns. that one of the guards? Oh, let me out of the bush. Let's try Capital Lightkeeper. I've given up, to be honest. I've given up doing anything serious, honestly. Where is he? In there? Bit of exposed here. Where is he? They get him in the nade or something? I don't know where he is. Unless he like ran off and I didn't see. Or he got killed already and but then how could it be the SVD firing? Crap. As a loud SVD hobo. God damn it. Picked up the Sturman gun and killed me. Okay, so let's see. If we can get a vantage point over village. People almost always go there. If we move up here into the hills, we might be able to get it to work. Let's see. I said I don't really want to be too far away with this gun anyway, because as I said, it's quite hard to actually get it to hit, is the problem. So we sort of need to get like into the territory at which we're actually going to be able to fight them, and then see what we can do at that point. No shots yet. Because this is what I'm thinking. That sucks, man. Get myself around this rock. I'm worried I'm going to be like wildly out of position here. Still quite out of position, to be honest with you, but loop around and try to get up into the cliffs of Lille. No clip activated. That's how it feels. Mind you, graphics settings? Do exclamation settings and you should see them. Oh. Unless it's baiting. Could be bait. Sounded like it was inside. Should be one of these buildings. see anything there either. It's like the loudest entry. If you're like dropping like this, you can be heard from pretty much as infinite distance. Like further than you're running. There's someone down here. Right. I'm right over here. Right, we've got to keep going, I think. It's too obvious to be down them. Chuck another nade. That is like an SR-25 or something? There was another one over here. There was a scav. Okay. Alright, let me just loop, retreat, figure it out. Just for a minute. Okay, dog. Good kills. You gotta play it the right way. If you're gonna do woods, we've got to do it before everyone comes in third parties as well. That's a good point. Yeah, if you're gonna play woods without an LPVO or something, you need to play it like with the terrain. Oh, I'm very nervous about looting this guy. It's a real shame you can't drag bodies actually. But that'd be really clutch. That's duffel, okay, that's fine. Right, it's good. Just gonna give it a go. Nice RD. Oh, my helmet saved me. I might take his rig, just in case we have to swap guns for whatever reason. Alright, so yeah, we got that guy. There was another guy down here. Don't believe this dude's particularly kitted, but I think this is the guy. Got another really nasty spot here, but... Flux helm. BP, bit of milk. Milk is good. Alrighty. No, we'll use all of this. I didn't replenish my flare, did I? No. Go outskirts then. Right, well, yeah, it's decent. The thing is, a lot of people are still wearing class 4. Many people just... should we try? Let's see what's happening with the BTR. USEC checkpoint? Okay. Well, we'll try it. 'Cause anything's better than here. We're literally like as far away as you could be. It's the furthest possible point. Bit of recoil there. Talk to the driver. Okay, so... anything new around here? What can you do? Take a ride. And we'll go to USEC checkpoint. We'll give it a try. Oh, really? Come on.
Посадка,
Why
стоп!
can't I hand it in?
Скоро отправляемся!
Bloody hell. Yeah, you gotta put it in your pocket so you rig. Classic. I had it in my pockets then, but it was too late. They still haven't fixed that bug. So annoying. God damn it, guys. Is it really that difficult? Is it really that hard? For God's sake. Wait, since when can you put money in a container? Yeah, they changed it like 30 minutes ago or something. Well, we'll just wander our way there. It's fine. We could just talk about, you know, the weather and stuff, I guess. It's quite a lot of bounce. When you fire the gun, the horizontal bounce is quite high, especially if you stood vertically. Full posture, which I guess is fine. I'm not expecting my guy to hold this, like, you know, 8-kilogram weapon out and full auto this thing, or even just semi-auto tap it perfectly. But yeah, it's quite hard to shoot it at long range without a scope. I haven't worked out how to use the scav mode in active matter. I don't even know how you do it. Well, getting out of this raid took a lot longer than I was hoping for. Gonna see what's different. I'm sure there's like loads of content, more content than we've ever seen come through in EFT before, probably. And there's gonna be loads of surprises and all sorts of stuff. And like, yeah, there's gonna be stuff that's scuffed as well. There's gonna be great things. There's gonna be bad things. It's just the way BSG operates. So I've got to take it as it comes, really. It's all we can do. It's all we can do.